Lutheranism is a major branch of Protestantism, I can't talk already, that emerged under the work of Martin Luther, the 16th century German friar, and Tyler logged off after he realized I was just reading from Wikipedia. Oh, man. You fucking disappeared, asshole. Where did you go?
I just left the studio.
Yeah, nice. Well, that's a rather passive aggressive way of saying, "Hey Ben, shut the fuck up." Thanks a lot.
I want to start the show reading Wikipedia.
Not just any Wikipedia article though; it's Lutheranism. Okay, we were discussing before the show started what is Lutheranism, so I figured I'd start by reading exactly what Lutheranism is.
There was the softest of discussions where you posed a question that I didn't have the answer to, nor I don't think I cared. And you're like, let me check this out and then start reading it to begin the podcast, which is titled, This is Unusable. And I am Tyler Martin.
I'm Ben Steinberg. And the softest of discussions is still a discussion. Okay? And it's
one-sided discussions are still discussions.
Exactly. At least it's a unique way to start this off by reading off the first paragraph of the Wikipedia article for Lutheranism.
Yes. Next time, let's go constitutional amendment by constitutional amendment.
I'd be happy to do that. That's a unique way of starting a podcast is just sheer plagiarism of something on Wikipedia. That's a good way to do it. Who cares?
I'll agree with the unique way. A good way. I don't know. That's up for a soft discussion as well. And I'm getting softer by the moment.
It's okay. It's my definition of good. And my definition of good is just anything that comes out of my mouth is automatically good. That's my definition of good. Okay?
It's just a frozen yogurt machine over here.
A frozen yogurt machine? What do you mean?
Pink Benny.
Pink Benny.
Well, everything that comes out of a frozen yogurt machine is good.
Okay. That's an interesting analogy. Ben Steinberg, the frozen yogurt machine. Oh, why do you call yourself a frozen yogurt machine? Because everything that comes out of me is good. That makes sense. I like that.
TC Benoit.
TC Benoit. TC Benoit balls. TC Benoit balls. Okay.
For the younger audience, those were frozen yogurt shops that didn't make it anymore. I don't know if there are still frozen yogurt shops. It was a wonderful period of time, and now we don't have nice things anymore.
You're referring to TCBY.
Yes, and is Pinkberry still around?
I don't know.
I haven't seen a Pinkberry. I haven't heard anything about Pinkberry. I mean, they were huge. They had so many stores, and then all of a sudden they were just like, the berry burst. They hit the berry bubble.
You know what happened? I think Pinkberry was big with millennials, and then millennials got to a certain age, like I have, where they realized they literally cannot eat anything other than kale anymore without gaining copious amounts of weight. There's a frozen yogurt place sort of close to me that I went to once, actually surprisingly recently. Only guys went in. I went there and it was only like single guys just going in just to...
Was it like a bikini yogurt shop? And was it called like yogurt?
Do that thing with your neck again? Do that? How do you do that? That's crazy. That's amazing.
My great granddad was a snake.
That explains it. Yeah, just like the 7-Eleven near me, it's just guys that go in and they just stare. What we do is we just stare at a thing we're thinking of getting. And that is where all single males are right now. If you don't know where a single male is, he is at a 7-Eleven, he is at an AM/PM. He is at a frozen yogurt place just being like, what do I want to get? And try they're sort of trying to remember the flavors of the thing they're looking at, like a Nutter Butter or something. They're trying to remember that flavor in their mouth and go like, I don't know if I feel like that right now. That's what modern males have been reduced to. Is that.
I've definitely been caught just weighing, like figuring out if something was worth 30 cents more, like that's
Yeah.
it's life now, you got to pinch your pennies and pinch your balls.
I pinch my nips whenever I consider getting candy at like a 7-Eleven. I'm like, do I want this? Do I do nah. All right, I'll get the Reese's, whatever. I have to pinch my nipples. If they get hard when I'm thinking of Reese's, that's how I know I want it.
Talking about you going from D cups to Reese's cups, right?
I don't know. At this rate, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get to K cups. Keurig cups.
Yeah, I love those microplastics.
Oh, dude, my balls are basically just plastic at this point. I might as well laminate them because I think I have so many microplastics in my balls that.
Is that where they go? Is they just like because that's the lowest part in our body, right? Like the
Yeah,
feet aren't.
that's how that works.
It all like congregates in the middle, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's how that works. That's how that works.
that's why like the perfect man is an X because everything just goes straight to the balls, the
Like, are you talking
genitals.
about like the Vitruvian
Da
Man?
Vinci,
Da
yeah.
Vinci. Is it Vitruvian Man or Etruscan? No, it's Vitruvian Man. Okay.
Vitru would be like what true, right? Like truth.
Vitru?
Yeah, like in Latin or Italian.
Well, veritas, that is truth in Latin.
Yeah.
So Vitru, I don't know. I don't know. Uh, it's a good thing I looked this up beforehand.
Like we always do.
Vitruvian Man. The Vitruvian Man is a pen and ink drawing by Leonardo da Vinci. I know that. I am not going to keep looking at that. Okay. But yes, as I said, I am
That's
convinced.
why Shawn Michaels did the X because that's where,
What does this mean exactly? It just means like it just means give me oral sex, basically.
yes, X my Y,
X my Y.
and I'll Z you later.
So yeah, plastic balls. I actually have. I have those little those like boba balls, those little bubble tea balls. That's my sperm now.
Each sperm is a boba
Yes,
ball.
it's very painful and very edible. Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
it's just a circular thing. You just
Huh.
jizz and then eat boba. Just becomes the next spring. I don't know. I don't
We
know.
gotta get some lychee flavor soft serve to go with that.
I'm sure there's lychee flavor at the Froyo place near me. I kind of really want to go there now. I shouldn't.
You shall. Hey, support local businesses. There's always that argument. Well, I'm helping a mom and pop shop.
This is a chain.
Yeah, but a local chain?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I haven't been to a FROGURT shop in a while. Why do they call it that? That's better. FROGURT.
Well, first off, if you read it off the page, it looks like you're saying something about like frogs. Frogurt, like frog yogurt.
I think we should talk about frogs.
Sure.
Frogs and lily pads. Now, are those their, is that their technology? We have iPads, they have lily pads. Is that what they made?
I think you're onto something there, dude. Like, I'd never thought of that. We have iPads, they have lily pads. I think that's what iPads were based off of. That's why they're called pads. Nothing was called a pad before that, was it?
No, no. I mean, the technology, like everything else, just emerged from the water on four legs, died there, and then, but the next thing made it.
Exactly, it's evolution. It's only a hop, skip, and a jump from a lily pad to an iPad.
Think about it. Tadpole. Microsoft, it's like right there.
Kind of is actually weirdly. You didn't think about this beforehand? You're just coming up with this right now.
No, I've had this theory for quite some time, Ben. Um, Me, the frog, Kermit. I mean, he's the ringleader.
But see, here's the thing. Like, I'm sure you're joking about having had this theory for quite some time, but I would also 100% believe that you have just had this random thought swimming in your head, possibly for years, and you've just had zero reason. There's been zero prompt for you to actually put it out into the world.
Well, Ben, I think it's so reductive to think that I'd be joking on this podcast. I bring my true, authentic self every week, like you know, and I say the things that are true and meaningful to me in my life at this moment. Like Atlantis, that's making a comeback, right?
Atlantis?
Yeah,
I mean,
they're the ones that got the sub. They did it.
what do you mean the sub?
You know, that sub that went after Titanic to try and blow up the rest of the Titanic evidence to show that that iceberg was man-made.
Yeah, the Titanic was sabotaged, definitely, by a man-made iceberg. I like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying Atlantis is nearby?
Yeah, they're in New York, you know, off the coast.
That would make sense if the Titanic was headed to New York.
Wait,
That would
did it
actually
come
check.
from New York?
No, I thought it was coming from England.
Really? Well, how did Jack Nicholson, no, Leonardo DiCaprio get on? Wasn't he at New York? Didn't he win? Like he didn't have an English accent.
No, but like I thought he was.
He was like, "Go Yankees."
Okay, now I have to find this out. You just. Oh God! Now I have to look up on Wikipedia again. I have to go.
I mean, where do you even find icebergs? Like the Arctic, right?
Yes, it departed. It departed Southampton, England, and was on its way to New York City. I was right,
Me too.
but you questioned me.
Ben, you have to question everything, okay? If you don't question everything, are you even thinking? Have you even considered just stop talking and listening? No, of course not. You got to question everything.
That's a good point. I think modern day, like right wing podcasts, have definitely taught us to question things that aren't even really worth questioning, to be honest. So yeah, I blame them. And now you have to question everything. I'm just asking questions. That's a thing people say all the time. Conspiracy theorists. I'm just asking questions. So
But I'm not listening to the answers because I don't want to hear. Like, if
exactly,
you're not going to tell me what I need to hear,
exactly.
then I'm going to come up with a worse and more broad question to ask that's going to really pigeonhole you into thinking that I'm a smart person.
Right.
So I was watching a Jordan Peterson, which was like one Christian versus many atheists or something. But the last guy that I saw, he's like, "Are you a Christian?" Then Jordan Peterson's like, I wouldn't say that. And they're like, didn't we all get asked here to talk to a Christian? He's like, well, what is the definition there, Miss Piggy, of a Christian? So I thought that was very funny.
He is a bit of a Canadian Kermit the Frog. You better not. You better you ought. I bloody well disagree. I disagree.
He's Canadian?
He's Canadian.
But he's one of America's national treasures.
Then we moved on to talking about James Corden. Talking about James Corden, but we're going to be talking about Jordan Peterson. And we're going to say...
James Corden Peterson.
Right. James Corden Peterson.
James Corden, though, he's British.
Yes. And so Stuart Lee was saying when James Corden came over to the United States, he said Britain's loss is America's loss as well.
Are we not supposed to like James Corden? Are we not supposed to find him amusing and entertaining?
Apparently, a lot of people don't like him. I haven't interacted with him personally. Apparently, he can be quite difficult, but that's hearsay. I don't know.
Quite British.
Yeah, maybe it's just that.
I like my tea at the spot of 2 p.m. If it's 1 second late, off with your head. I know the Queen. I slept with her when she slept with the fishes. I'm a fish. See, so James Corden's a fish.
He's a fish. He's a
Yeah.
fish.
It's
James
like a big
Corden's a
old,
fish.
he's a catfish.
He catfished America, is what he did.
Yes. Yep. That is it.
James Corden.
James Corden catfished America.
4 minutes later, we started making puns on the word impeach.
Now, why do you think is it because like America, like the South was very you know, poignant and part of our history? Is that why they called it impeach? Like, why didn't they do like apple or impair? I guess impair is also a different word, but it'd be spelled differently.
Yeah, that would be IMPEAR. And that's not really that's not that far off from IMPEACH.
Right,
So
yeah,
they could have chosen that.
and that's a nice northern fruit, a pear. We're talking lobster,
Lobster.
huckleberries, bluesberry, boysenberry. Now, the Catholic Church's favorite fruit is the boysenberry, of course.
The forbidden fruit. I love me some boys and berries. I mean berries.
I love some boys' berries.
Jesus Christ.
I love
They got
getting buried in boys. Oops, slipped on that one. I guess you're gonna have to send me to a different pastoral.
those boys and those berries, they got mighty fine peaches, if you know what I mean.
My stone fruit's rock hard.
Wow, a lot of weirdly excellent innuendo there in just talking about peaches.
Yeah, it's all Timothy Chalamet's fault. Let's be honest.
What, you think priests are salivating over him?
No, it's just because he ate that peach and called me by your name, and that was really when the third iteration of humanity began.
That was like our moment when Adam and Eve were expelled from the Garden of
Hmm.
Eden. Is that what you're saying? When Timothy
Yeah.
Chalamet ate the peach
Yes.
as opposed to Eve eating the apple. That makes sense.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I never saw that movie, and I never understood why it's called Call Me by Your Name.
Oh, because I don't know. I think the protagonist had amnesia.
That would make sense. It's a movie about a protagonist who has amnesia, and only while he has amnesia is he gay. But when he does not have amnesia, he is 100% straight as a board. Is
Yeah,
that
it's like the hypnotist that's like, when I snap my fingers, you're gonna forget you were ever gay. And then the guy's like, "What are you talking about? I was never gay." Got him. And that's how Jordan B. Peterson just wins arguments. I think.
that's how you should win an argument, by saying, "Oh yeah, well you're gay," and then that's the end of the argument.
Especially during Pride Month, we got to start calling people gay. It's
Yeah,
important.
yeah, and you just say, "No, I mean it in a good way. I mean it
Mhm.
in the positive you suck off men way." That's Ron White had a funny joke about like how he was in the debate club and his best argument was, "Oh yeah, well, fuck you." And then he thought he won after that. And that's what that reminds me of, the you're gay argument. It's basically just saying, "Yeah, well, fuck you," and thinking that's good enough to win.
I do want to say I don't believe Ron White was in a debate club. Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably
That
right.
that's grounds for immediate you know, please do not come back to this club because fuck you.
I mean, he's a national treasure at this point, but it's pretty obvious even though he did that whole sort of blue collar comedy thing, and he stands there and he has a southern accent, he stands there drinking. It's pretty obvious that he's at least a somewhat enlightened individual. Like, he's very much into sort of ayahuasca and psychedelics and stuff like that. Like, listening to him, you're like, oh, this guy is like a Santa Monica liberal who just puts on this
The worst kind of liberal.
the worst kind of liberal. Who just sort of puts on
it
this,
for the money.
this blue collar affect. I mean, he does have a legitimate southern accent. I do believe that.
See, I live on San Vicente and I roast nuts on the boardwalk.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he like did live around that area.
Think he's still alive?
Ron White?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been interviewed in podcasts recently.
Oh, well, I don't know that.
Oh,
How
yeah.
do you know it's him? How do you know? So you got to question everything. How do you know it's not a doppelganger? You know? How do you know it's not like Rom Wit?
I guess I
How do you
can't.
know it's not Rahm Emanuel trying to make a comeback in the political specter?
Because if it was Rahm Emanuel, he would speak like this. He would speak like this very quickly. He would speak like this. Rahm Emanuel, he speaks very quickly like this.
You don't think people can change their affect and their tone and the way that they talk?
Mm-mm. People don't do that. People don't do that, dude. I do think a cock in your mouth will change your accent a little bit.
Well, that brings us to the best joke of all time. You know, what did Cinderella say when she got to the ball?
I knew that's where that was going.
Fantastic, a great joke.
No, but I can't help but feel as though, like, yeah, you might speak like this a little bit, and then the first time you've really taken a dick in your mouth afterward, you're just like, oh, damn, that was something else, and your jaw is numb.
Like molasses.
Your jaw's a bit numb. It had to go numb in order to handle it. So you're just kind of, you got a bit of a draw from taking too much penis.
All right, you heard it here first on this podcast. Sucking dick makes you southern.